while the weather sucks, I thought I would do a quick review of my Inshore setup for diving and spearfishing. It's a Boatworld Kayak Boat 365 with an E-propulsion Spirit 1 Plus outboard. I'll start with discussing why I went for this combination, and then go through a few of the pros and cons of the combination, and then of the boat and the outboard individually. And to put things bluntly, I live in London, in a flat. I can't store petrol, I can't store a petrol outboard, I have very limited room to store a boat, and most of the diving I do is within a few miles of shore. So that's what I wanted, something small, packs up into the back of the car easily, takes 2 people, zero or very low maintenance, and just easy to manage and run. Overall impressions, first off, it's a really nice looking setup. It's also small, easy to maintain, easy to transport, easy to store, easy to launch from anywhere, any beach, any slip, and it's perfect for 2 people trips up to about 8 nautical miles. Overall, it's less than 50 kilos all in, it's very easy to manage, and the quality of construction throughout is excellent. One of the greatest things is how small it gets when deflated. It will literally fit into one single car seat, and my car seats are pretty small. On top of this, it's very lightweight, so the boat itself is about 30 kg. And it's really well constructed, nice thick PVC, really nice high pressure airflow which you can barely bend even when standing on. It's got a keel, so it creates a nice shape for the boat with a raised bow. It's got a really low draft when it's travelling, so you don't have to worry too much about rocks and stuff underwater. And from a diving perspective, it's very easy to get in and out of. It's relatively stable. I wouldn't put 2 people on one tube, but as long as you can have some sort of communication, it's really fine. The tubes being slightly smaller than most SIBs make it really easy to jump in or out. It's also super fast to inflate. I find it takes about 15 minutes, but that's when you're distracted. If you wanted to, you could probably get it up in about 10. Obviously, some of the cons are it's quite small. You can only fit in 2 people. And another issue is that the seat fixings aren't great. So if you use the seats and you're jumping in from the water and you land your entire body weight into one of those seats, you can pop it out of a clip and leave it at an angle stuck down into the bottom of the boat, which is just a little bit annoying. So after the first couple of trips, I just took the seats off and sat on the tubes. The water valve isn't great either. Because we're going at displacement speeds, it's almost always underwater, so it's not particularly useful, and I'm not convinced it keeps the water out enough, although it's only quite a small chamber underneath, so if anything it probably helps with stability. The E-propulsion outboard is pretty nice. It's an extra short shaft, this one. It's really lightweight. It's obviously cheap to run. I mean, it costs, you can be out for it for an entire day, it might cost you like 30p. But the best thing is, there's no maintenance. I think every 5 years you might have to replace an anode. And because there's no petrol, you can store it anywhere. You can easily have it in your flat, that's not a problem. You don't have to flush it after every use, so you don't have to have a big bucket of water and somewhere you can run it. You don't have to store petrol, you don't have to store a petrol outboard. You can put it anywhere. It's so lightweight, you can carry it anywhere, there's nothing which can spill, however you store it. In terms of usability, really easy to store. It's incredibly reliable, you can just plug it in and go. It doesn't have many components which could create an issue in running. Obviously some of the downsides are a low top speed. I find it tops out at about 5 knots, a little bit less, maybe 4.8 if it's really lumpy out there. And of course it's got somewhat of a limited range. The furthest I've been in it was 8 nautical miles. That wasn't full throttle all the way, that was moderating a little bit. And at that point I came home still with 20% or more left in the battery. So I'd say for most things you want to do, it's a really nice range. Obviously if you want to go 10 miles offshore, then you would want something a little bit more beefy. Obviously because it can be launched from anywhere, you don't have to specifically travel to a slip, you don't have to worry about backing down a trailer, you don't have to do half the things you have to worry about. So in a way, even though it's slower in the water, it's so much faster to get out near to where you want to be. It takes a bit of a sting out of the speed. You know, from leaving your house to the spot, you have a lower time than if you had a bigger, more powerful, faster boat. So I guess pros and cons of anything. So on to some testing. So surprise, surprise, the performance is lovely in a nice, flat, calm sea. But how about if we find some more interesting additions? Maybe not quite that big, but if we go where it's a little bit protected and see how it performs. Turns out pretty well.
Did it swell? How high do you reckon swell is? Like a metre-ish? It's a metre-ish, yeah. Boat's carving through it nicely.
I would advise this unless you're wearing the wetsuit and have big fins. Obviously, as spearfishers, we have a really good ability to rescue ourselves if something goes wrong in a boat trip, at least within a reasonable distance of land. I have been meaning to try my 8-horse 2-stroke on this, but there's the trouble, right? I mean, because I can't store it at my place, it's at a friend's place, it's a pain to get to, pain to get the fuel, pain to put it on, set it up, it adds on a load of extra weight, and at the end of the day, even when I own it, it's not worth the effort most of the time. So maybe at some point I will do an addition to the review with that on there, but not in the short term. So to conclude, it's a really small, really easy to use boat without any of the admin or headache of something larger, and just perfect for people that want to go a little bit further, carry a little bit more stuff, and not have to swim for miles and miles. It definitely has my recommendation.
Definitely calmer this direction.